Good day, my name is Imelda Williams. I am the unit convener for RAD5108. So if you have any specific problems or any issues, I am the main contact person. I will be delivering all of the material for this unit, and I will also be responsible for undertaking all of the assessments related to the unit. This is an overview of the academic expectations and what you should be able to achieve within this unit. It's important that you be aware of the mechanisms of injury and the clinical signs as it is related to X-ray appearances of the cervical spine, the shoulder, and the upper limbs. You should also be able to apply a systematic approach when you're evaluating X-ray images of the C-spine, shoulder, and upper limbs, as well as being able to recognize and describe and communicate pathologies that is observed on X-ray images. You should also be able to apply knowledge of sensitivity, specificity, and accuracy and search errors when interpreting the cervical spine, shoulder, and upper limbs. Please refer to the learning outcomes in the unit guide. The resources that are available is, of course, the unit guide is a good starting point, as well as the Moodle site. It's important that you check the weekly timetable. Material will be released on a weekly basis to ensure that your learning is scaffolded. And then there's also an image interpretation manual available, which is electronic, and I will link that to each week's activities. There will also be video recorded PowerPoint presentations. You have a reading list, which is linked within the unit guide. And you will see that a number of the resources are available online, so it will allow you to access that from the comfort of your home or from your work. So there's a number of assessments. So the first assessment that you will undertake will be test 1, which is an image recognition exam. It has a weighting of 25%, and that will be during week 7. The second one will be an ISAP case. The overall word limit for that is 1,500, and the weighting is 25%. And there's 2 parts to that, and I'll talk about that later, and that needs to be submitted during weeks 10 and 11. And then the third one will be a second online exam, which will take place during exam week 1. And then you need to submit a clinical portfolio with a weighting of 25%, and that will be during the exam week 2. The computer-based exams, there'll be 2 of those. The resources available will be the image interpretation manual, the video recorded lectures and tutorials, and as the weeks go along, you will be undertaking practice exams. So for test 1, it will cover multiple choice questions and then also preliminary image evaluation cases, and it will cover the psychophysics, search errors, the cervical spine and the shoulder. And then the second test will cover the humerus, the elbow, the forearm, the wrist, hand and fingers. The computer-based exams includes the use of IQView manipulation software and also the completion of a PIE form. I invite students to select a suitable date and time approximately 2 hours before the exam must take place. And please note that Monash operates on a Windows platform and that the IQView software is only compatible with Windows. Each test will comprise 15 PIE cases and 15 multiple choice questions. You will need to download the PIE form so that you can capture your answers and then return it via email within 15 minutes after the deadline has been reached. The ISAP case is related to the pediatric elbow, and it requires 2 submissions. The first one will be a clinical action plan. So on the Moodle site, there's a Moodle book. It will provide you with the scenario and then also the professional issues that needs to be addressed. Once you have submitted the CAP report and the deadline has been reached, an expert report will be made available, and you then will need to provide a comparative report. So the resources are the unit guide again, and then also under week 4 there's a specific Moodle book related to the ISAP case. So when you submit your ISAP reports, it must be done via the integrated Turnitin submission Dropbox. What that means is when you submit your report, you will receive a Turnitin report which will indicate the similarity index. And for the faculty, the index should be less than 15%. And once the deadline has been reached, which means at 5 p.m. on the 17th of May, an expert report will be released, and then you need to compare your CAP report to that of the expert report and then provide a comparative report, and that should be done by the 24th of May. I'm responsible also for the clinical portfolio. There's 2 parts to the clinical portfolio. You need to submit a minimum of 6 clinical cases, with each case a word count of 200 words. These cases should have a range of the body regions which is related to the cervical spine, the shoulder, and the upper limbs. You can use references to support your discussion. Secondly, there's a self-auditing PIE record, and a minimum of 10 reports should be evaluated, and again related to the same body regions. You will then have to calculate sensitivity, specificity, and accuracy, and then also provide a reflection on your personal PIE abilities. So in summary, you need to engage regularly with the self-directed material so that you can keep on track with your academic requirements. If there are any issues or if you need any clarification, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.